We've talked about hand placement and grip and that sort of stuff. Let's talk about the glide and how to teach it. This is the first thing we teach with a kid who's in junior high or never thrown before. So what we'll do with a kid who's new at this, to try to make the movement as simple as possible, is we'll break it into 3 parts. And what you're going to do if you choose to do it this way is you're going to get them to where they can glide in about 1 or 2 days, realistically. But they're going to have some errors that you're going to correct as they get better. You're going to create a few errors, but you're going to get the main point accomplished probably in 1 or 2 days if you just have them for, an hour a day. So what we'll do with the junior high kid, obviously this ain't a junior high kid. What we'll do though with the first day thrower, Kyle's a 7-year thrower. We'll start like he's a first-year thrower though, and we'll teach it now the same way that we taught it then. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the double pivot. Okay, so let's stand now. We're looking at the blue line. Okay, this is just the middle line, the center line of the ring. There's nothing special about it. It just goes right down the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to have him stand so that his throwing side foot, the toe is on the line, and his non-throwing side foot is off the line. And we kind of give him, if you don't have any kind of landmarks in your circle, you can tell him that the left sector line is a pretty good landmark. His heel ought to be somewhere close to that. If you don't have that, you can tell him it's toe to instep. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just put his hands on his hips. We'll have him rotate back. We tell him that he wants to face the audience, and the audience is back here. Okay. He's on both tiptoes. Let's go ahead and let's rotate now into what we call a C position. Ready? Rotate. And so what we're going to try to do, and I'll grab hold of them and help them because they'll all lose their balance at first. We're going to try to get him to keep his toes pointed forward, keep his body weight on the back foot. In order to do that, he's got to lean back. And that's why we call it a C position, because his body's going to be kind of shaped in an arched position, kind of like a bow, an archery bow or a letter C. So that one more time. This is called a double pivot. Good. Okay, and if he can get there and just hold it, if you can especially get a junior high kid to just be able to stand there and hold it, that's excellent. Another way to teach this, go ahead and just stand on 2 feet and face the front. Back up, just like me. Okay, if you stand them up just in the middle of the ring and just tell them to stand still and put their hands on their hips, the next thing you can do to help teach this C position is you can have him step that left foot forward and keep his right toe back. That's basically the C position. And that's a little bit easier way to teach it. So now from here, without stepping backwards from here, let's rotate backwards, double pivot backwards into the power position. Good. Good. Hands on hips. Rotate into C position. Good. Now step back. Starting position. Good. So that's an easy progression that you can use. You can go starting position, go ahead and set up, step out, power position, C position, starting position. And you can just go through that. If you have a junior high kid and they've never done anything before, do this first before you ever put a shot in their hand or do anything else. If they can get that accomplished, they can probably throw if they're a young kid. All right, the next thing after we've done a double pivot is we'll go all the way to the back of the circle. And we'll go ahead and use this blue line again. It's just the center line. And we'll put his throwing side toe right here. It doesn't have to be all the way to the back. We'll use the whole all the way to the back for this guy who is gigantic, but we won't for a junior high kid. We'll let them stand wherever it's comfortable for them. What we'll do is we'll start them into kind of a starting position for the glide. We'll put this hand up as if it's holding the shot. This one's going to be out a little more parallel to the ground. As they first start out, what I'll tell them is this needs to be parallel, and this whole line down the left side should be straight. As they kind of get older and get more advanced, I don't really care. They can be more comfortable with that. But for now, we'll go ahead and start him out here. And what we'll do, I'll just hold his wrist, and I'm going to ask him to do 3 leg swings. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and relax. And that's it. If they can do the double pivot and then do 3 leg swings, you've got about half the battle won. So let's do that one more time. 3 leg swings. I'm going to help keep your balance. You can line up a whole group of junior high kids and have them all do this at once if you're trying to figure out who you want to throw for you. That's a great way to do it. Now, we use a drill called the A drill to teach the transition, and this is the hardest part. This is where we invest the most time. If they get good at this, they're going to have some errors that are going to have to be corrected later, but that's okay. They'll get the point. So let's go ahead and let's 3 leg swings. I'm going to help you keep your balance. I'm not going to pull against you, Kyle. And what I want you to do is just rotate. After your third one, I want you to just rock back into an A position and freeze. Good. Now, getting them to get the idea of what this means is a little bit difficult. But if you have a bunch of junior high kids, tell them this is shaped like a letter A. He's on his heel. This toe's in the air. His upper body never moved. That toe right there is pointing at 9 o'clock. Go ahead and relax. That's the A position. So, and again, we're talking different positions as we go through this because positions make the power. So let's start out with 3 leg swings into an A position. Good. The next part of this drill is all we're going to do is we're going to take this toe and we're going to pull it underneath his body. That's it. Now he's in a position where he can double pivot and just throw the shot. That's, to me, the simplest way to teach it to a kid who's never done it before. So let's do all 3 steps together now. Let's start from the back. We'll pull under to the middle, and then we'll double pivot into a C position where he would actually throw it. One, 2, 3. That's it. So when we have a junior high kid or a kid that's new to this, we don't start them with a rotation, we start them with the glide. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just the way that seems best to me. These guys were gliders. All of my kids were gliders until at least their 8th grade year, if not their freshman year or later. So he's done some rotating in the shot, but he's mostly a glider full time. At least for me, he is. This is the first thing that we'll teach a glider.